Hello and welcome to day 2 of my ride to visit the 3 highest pubs in Britain. If you haven't already watched that video, in part 1, which was yesterday's ride, if I've edited this correctly, I rode from Newcastle up into Scotland and I visited the highest pub in Scotland, which is the Wanlockhead Inn. I then rode back down and just crossed the border over into Cumbria, North Cumbria, where I stayed last night, and so I'm setting off now. It's fairly early in the morning, it's about 8:30, setting off day 2 of the ride, where I'm going to visit the highest pub in England. And once I've been there, I'm going to continue down into Wales, but then I'm going to stay in North Wales and visit the highest pub in Wales tomorrow. So as you can see, the weather hasn't really brightened up at all from yesterday. In fact, I think it's got a little bit duller, but as was the case yesterday, it's dry and it's not cold, and so I'm enjoying the ride here. So I'm just heading up to Alston. Now, you may recognise some of these roads because these are roads which I ride regularly from home. I'm not actually that far from home at the moment, probably only about an hour's ride from home. So this is a lovely corner here. Just some really nice bends as you drop down into the valley here. There's another one just coming up in a minute. And yeah, I ride these roads very frequently, so you've probably seen me on these roads in previous videos. But I'm heading down into North Yorkshire. I'm going to visit the Tannhill Inn, which is the highest pub in England. It's also the highest pub in Britain as well. It's the highest of the 3 pubs I'm visiting. From there I'll drop down to Hawes, and from Hawes ride down a little bit through the Yorkshire Dales, and then I'm going to cut out west then. We'll see which way we go. We'll find out. This is Alston Moor. I'm on the A686 heading south, where I'm going to drop into Alston. This is a lovely ride. Love this road. Visit it very frequently on all of my bikes. And there's a lot of great off-road riding around here as well. A lot of great green lanes and trails around here. So I'm quite often up here on my KTM. Anyway, off to Alston. So this is Alston. It's very steep up the road here. There's also, I'm just coming up to here, there's a little cobbled bit which in the wet can be quite treacherous on a motorbike. But it's a little market town. It holds the title of being the highest market town in England, does this Alston. And I know in the winter it quite often gets quite bad up here and it gets cut off sometimes. Right, I'm out of Alston now and I'm heading south, just following this. It's the River Tyne in its early stages, obviously, it's my ride, but I'm just heading down towards Teesdale, Forest in Teesdale. And this is a very, very popular biking road. I'd say one of the most popular biking roads in Britain. It's Bank Holiday Friday, so I'm just really surprised there's no one around. I'm all on my own. I guess it's quite early though. So I'm going to kick back and enjoy this ride and enjoy having the road to myself. This is the benefit of being out of bed and off before everybody else. Here we are, this is Forest in Teesdale. Just dropping down into the valley here. I've not seen another vehicle at all this whole stretch of road. Amazing. Not complaining. I'm just coming into Middleton in Teesdale. There's a great fish and chip shop here on the right, just coming up to it on the right there. One of my favourites. Find it very difficult to ride past. Thankfully it's very early in the morning, so it's not open yet. But I'll be there again soon, I'm sure. Okay, I'm heading over the moors again now, heading down towards Yorkshire. So this road is the B6276, which takes me across the moors over to North Stainmore, where I will cross the A66, which is the main sort of road which crosses over the Pennines. And from there, then it's actually not far down to the Tanhill Inn. But again, this is another lovely road. One of my favourite roads is this one. I've just turned off the main road, if you could call it a main road, onto this little single track, which on the map is just marked as Green Lane. So I wasn't sure whether it was going to be tarmacked or not, but as you can see, it is tarmacked. But it really just cuts across. It's not going anywhere. It just cuts across the valley here. But I think there's quite a few gates along here that I'll have to stop and open. I don't know. It may leave the tarmac at some point. Because I've never been down here before, I'm just exploring. But yes, quite beautiful. And of course, guarantees that I get off the beaten track. I guess it's just an access road for these little farms and buildings down here. Oh, here's my first gate. Give me a bit of exercise. Get me going this morning. Whoops, just caught the horn. I find it rather sad that they have to actually put signs on the gates telling you to close the gate. I mean, God, isn't it just common sense that if you find a gate closed, you close it behind you? I'm just pushing the bike through. Just quick and easier just to push it through and then I can close the gate. Right, let's see how far to the next gate. Yeah, bit different coming down here. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad I took this lane. And of course, the Triumph Scramblers, you know, made for going on rougher stuff like this. Not that you need a scrambler for coming down here at all, but you know, it kind of makes you feel justified riding a bike like this when you come on roads like this. And another gate to open. As I'm having to stop and open a few gates now, I thought I'd just take a little breather, take my helmet off and stretch my legs a minute. The first big stop this morning, apart from stopping for some fuel. As you can see, it's quite dull, overcast. Looks like it's setting for the day actually, but it's quite mild, which is nice, and it's dry. So amazingly, it's quiet. It's just so quiet. I expected there to be far more traffic about, but pretty much got the place to myself. Not complaining. Anyway, let's crack on a little bit further, see where we get to. So I'm glad I came down this road. This has been very interesting, a very enjoyable little detour. Very slow going. I'm not riding very fast, and I keep having to stop to open and close gates. But I think this is my last gate. I was looking at the sat nav, and the map on the sat nav suggests that after this gate I just drop down to the right here, and then I'm back on the main road, because I'm getting quite close to the A66, and then just push the bike through here. Oh, hopefully that's wide enough. I'll just squeeze through there. Yeah, last gate, and then I'll be climbing up towards the Tanhill Inn at the other side of the A66. So, yeah, back onto some faster roads. Wouldn't make very good progress if I defasten this. That's a little hook on there. Every gate's different when you do a lot of off-road riding. You get used to all these gates. Up, leg over, and yep, let's get back on the road and head for the Tanhill Inn. Great. I've just crossed over the A66, so I'm now heading for the Tanhill Inn, and there is a sign, which is encouraging that I'm going in the right direction. A sign for the Tanhill Inn. I think it's still a few miles to go yet. Got to ride across the moors. All just open moorland again here. It is pretty bleak, is this. This all gets snowed over in the winter, as you can imagine, and you know, sometimes the Tanhill Inn gets cut off. But I guess it dates back to the days when it was a refuge for people travelling across the moors. Just seems to go on forever, does this road? I guess there's just no landmarks or anything. You just run this thread across the moors. I must be getting close now. I think it's only another mile or so, but it's pretty bleak and quiet up here. And here we are at last, the Tanhill Inn, the highest pub in England and the highest pub in Britain. So a few more people around. Well, I guess it's nearly lunchtime. Oh, I think I can just pull in there and get a nice photograph of the bike in front of the sign. Perfect. So once again, I'll do my little video here of the bike in front of the pub. And as it is lunchtime, I think I'll go in and have something to eat. It's open, I can see people inside. Maybe just have a little look around first. See, they've got the Yorkshire flag flying there. Let's have a little wander round the back and have a look. Nice views across the moors. Lovely views from here. And of course it is an inn, so you can stay here. You can see they've got bedrooms here. Those look like some kind of little dining pods out the back there. And there's lots of bedrooms here. You can stay here. I know they have a lot of music events on and things like that here. Right, let's go inside and have something to eat. I'm getting quite hungry. Okay, and we're off again. Just had a lovely bit of lunch in the Tan Hill Inn. There were a few people in. I was quite early when I arrived, maybe about midday, and by the time I finished eating it was starting to get a little bit busier, other people arriving. So now I'm dropping down into the Yorkshire Dales. I'm riding over the moors, you can see, south, and I'm heading down towards Hawes. Hawes is in Wensleydale, of course, and so there's the main Wensleydale Creamery in Hawes where they make Wensleydale cheese. If you're a Wallace and Gromit fan, you'll know about that. It's also very popular with bikers. There's a cafe in the main street of Hawes where all the bikers hang out, so it being a bank holiday Friday, I'm expecting there to be plenty of bikers in Hawes. We shall see. So no doubt I'll see more and more bikes as I get down there. Well, there's some bikers here. The first ones I've seen all morning. Won't be the last though. Obviously just stopping to decide where to go next. I've just ridden through Thwaite. I'm in the valley bottom now. This for me is just so typical Yorkshire Dales, this kind of landscape. I grew up in the Yorkshire Dales, and this just feels like home to me. I love this scenery. Love the roads around here. And so this is Hawes. Used to come here a lot when I was a lad. My brother and I used to help out at a farm down Dentdale, and we used to come with the farmer to the cattle market, and we always enjoyed that. I seem to remember there being a little shop down here. I think it's this one here with the blue canopy outside that sold toys, like toy tractors and trailers and things like that. My brother and I always used to enjoy looking in that shop window. Anyway, we're getting up to the marketplace here. And it's just at the other end of the street here where the cafe is, where all of the bikes hang out. So I'm expecting there to be quite a few here. As you can see, it's quite busy with all the cars and the tourists. It's a very popular touristy spot here, this Hawes, and rightfully so. It's a beautiful place and lovely walking around here as well. That's a great pub on the right, eaten in there many times. So yeah, here's all the bikes. I'm going to pull in here and maybe grab a cup of tea in the cafe. Just coming down to Chapel le Dale, and this is the Ribble Head Viaduct ahead of me. Great landmark, this one. It's a very impressive viaduct. It's on the Settle to Carlisle railway line, which obviously just runs across here. And it's a junction of three of the best hills to climb in the Yorkshire Dales here. We call them the Three Yorkshire Peaks. So very popular spot, and yeah, you can tell it's a bank holiday, can't you? Just look at all the traffic here. When I was a lad, there was hardly any parking here at all, no cars. Now they've sort of created this parking on both sides of the roads, and even then it's full. But, you know, I'm not complaining. It's people out enjoying the countryside, as they should do. There's also a really good catering van always on the junction here, but it's going to be so busy today. And as I've just had a cup of tea in Hawes, I'm not going to be stopping here. Just going to push on. I'm going to head down towards Ingleton now, so going straight across this junction here and onto Ingleton. This is a nice stretch of road. Got away from all the cars and the walkers and what have you. Just bikers out enjoying this road. Because again, it's on one of the main circuits for riders is this, and rightfully so. Cracking bit of road dropping down to Ingleton. Then I'm going to pick up the A65 south and then turn out of the Yorkshire Dales over towards Lancashire. Okay, I followed the A65 south for a few miles. Not bothered showing any footage of that because it's a bit boring. and turned off, gone through Wigglesworth, and I'm heading down now into the Forest of Bowland. In fact, I'm just coming to a town called Newton in Bowland, probably coming up quite soon. And this brings me down through Lancashire to this route, where I'm going to then cut through Preston, and from Preston I will cut round the north of Southport, where I'll follow the coast down to Liverpool, rather than because it gets all a bit built up round here. With after Preston you've got Wigan and Southport and Liverpool. It's all a bit built up. I'm trying to avoid all these built up areas, and it's quite nice running down the coast road. I've just pulled over because I saw this sign for Inch Perfect Trials. I'm in the Forest of Bowland still. I'd totally forgotten that this place was down here. I've never been here before, but I've seen them advertise on the internet. And as I have a trials bike, I do a bit of trials riding, nothing serious. I think this is interesting. I think I'm just going to call in and see what they've got here. Sign's saying it's just up here, so let's go and explore and see. I don't know anything about them other than the fact that I do see the adverts come up, and they certainly come up on my Facebook feed, and I just assume that that's because I've got a trials bike and I engage in trials bike activities, then their marketing is picking me up as being a suitable target. Though I have to say this is a little bit far away from home for me to consider coming and riding, but certainly I'll come and have a little look and see what they've got up here. It's quite a long way up here. I assume it's just kind of nestled up at the top of this lane here, just behind these trees. Yeah, interesting. Oh, here we go. I can see it coming up now. Inch Perfect Trials. Yeah, they do, experience days and courses and things like that here. I would certainly come along because I've got a trials bike, but by no means am I a good rider. I would certainly benefit from a lot of tuition and practice. Well, there seems to be something going on. Plenty of people parked up and bikes around. Just take it steady past these youngsters. Yeah. Let's dump the bike here and have a look. Well, it doesn't look like there's any event or anything. It just looks like people having fun. Wow, it's a pretty impressive course, isn't it? That looks nice. That looks fun. It's great fun. Seems like a nice range of obstacles, from reasonably easy to more challenging ones. Well, continuing down through the Forest of Bowland now. That was an interesting little stop off there at that trials place. I'd certainly love to have a go there, but yeah, I'm a bit far from home here. I'm not sure if I would want to trailer my bike all the way down here just to have a go there. But anyway, onwards. So, heading down towards Southport now. I'm going to cut round the north of Southport and then follow. There's a coast road that runs down the coast, which will hopefully cut out most of the heavy traffic and the built-up areas. Well, we'll see, because I've not been down there before. We'll see. So I'm just edging round Southport here, and this is new territory for me, unknown territory. I've not been here before, so interesting wetlands I'm riding through here. But getting down towards the coast, you can see that's the sea off to my right. You maybe just be able to see. And then turning southwards towards Liverpool. Just following the coast down now, so I'm skirting round Southport here. That's the sea on my right. Quite a pleasant road is this. I think I've just arrived at a sort of seaside-y holiday stroke touristy place here. Certainly feels like I'm at the seaside now. obviously people from Southport and possibly from Liverpool here out enjoying the bank holiday. Well, I was very quickly out of that touristy area. This is rather nice, this road now, just driving down through the sand dunes on either side of me. The sea's just off to the right, and just behind this fence here you can see there's a cycleway here, so yeah, very pleasant. So I'm heading down towards Liverpool now, where I'm going to get the tunnel through to the Wirral and then ride down through the Wirral into Wales. And I'm just about to enter I think it's called the Kingsway Tunnel, which runs under the Mersey, the River Mersey, takes me out from Liverpool, where I am at the moment, across onto the Wirral and into Wales. So it's always exciting riding through tunnels. I've not been through here before, but I think it's free for bikes. I'm assuming it's free for bikes. I'll find out when I get to the other end. Assume the toll booth's at the other end. Oh, this is fun. And here we go, out the other side. We're through under the River Mersey, and I think the toll booth must be just up here. So this is the Wirral. Birkenhead off to my left here. All the docks were round here, of course. I think this is Wolsey, this bit it's called. It's on right. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks like there's a lane for bikes right over to the left-hand side here. Oh yeah, that's neat. That's a very neat way of doing it, isn't it? You can just scoot through here, little speed bump, and we're through. Right. Welcome to the Wirral. Let's head into Wales. I'm going to hug the coast, the north coast of Wales, for the rest of today's journey. I'm just following the River Dee up here, just heading north through Flint, and I'm heading up to Prestatyn, where I've actually got a hotel booked for tonight, the Beaches Hotel, right on the beachfront apparently. So here we are, this is Prestatyn. I'm hoping it's going to be a bit better than it was portrayed on The Royal Family, if you've ever seen that episode of The Royal Family, The Pearl of Prestatyn. And this is my hotel, the Beaches Hotel. That was very easy to find. And it's right on the seafront, hence the name, obviously. So let's see, we can get parked. The car park's on the left there, but I really don't want to leave the bike out in that car park. Going to see if I can park it out the front of the hotel here. These are all disabled parking spots. Oh, I think there might be space just on the end there. Let's have a look. Oh yes, I can just slip it in here. Well, that's day 2 down, and yet another day where I've done more miles than I planned. I've done just short of 300 miles again today, so that's nearly 600 miles I've done over the last 2 days. So I'm going to chill in the bar tonight. This is rather a swanky hotel I'm in. Just look at the size of this bed. I'll show you. Yeah, a lot of space just for just me. It's wider than it is long. Anyway, lovely. Nice view along the beach from the bedroom. I think I'll get myself changed and go for a little walk on the beach. This is the front of my hotel, the Beaches Hotel. Nice little veranda for sitting on there. Go and have a beer there later. So this is the beach at Prestatyn, and there's a lot of offshore windmills there. Don't know if you can see them. It's a rather pleasant evening. I think I'll go for a little walk.